All right, we are back after a very long break. I am Johnny's bare toe. I'll just show you. If I don't break my, this is Johnny's bare toe. It's very bare. This is still Bikram. It hasn't changed. If you saw my balls, because of that, we'll edit it. Don't worry. He'll do something about it because I'm wearing shorts. Okay, my questions. I have a lot of questions. Is Pant the new Adam Gilchrist? Because this guy is magical. He's so shit in everything else, and he goes to England and he becomes the biggest thing. Is Rahul Dravid the new Kohli? When I mean excitement, he was more excited Virat Kohli when Rishabh Pant scored a century. He went mental. I mean, come on, man, this was just crazy. And is Kohli the next greatest cheerleader? Because he's cheering for everybody's 100, including Johnny Bairstow. Also, he fought with him earlier, but he was cheering, like even his finger either got taped up and all. He's still cheering Johnny Bairstow because this guy's gonna become the greatest cheerleader in the history. And why is Kohli batting like Ponty Panesar? Not Ponty, his name was Monty, right? Why is Kohli batting like Monty Panesar? Because that's how he's been batting. And is Jadeja the India's greatest all-rounder or the greatest all-rounder in the history of everybody? Is Dhoni watching? Is CSK watching? They shunned him. They locked him up, and he comes out and he shows people this thing. Okay, let's start with the Bairstow altercation because a lot of people are talking about Bairstow was not scoring runs. Still, Kohli fired him up, and Bairstow became the old Kohli and destroyed everybody. Did it happen? What do you think about that altercation? Did that change the course of the match?
I mean, it definitely egged him on, and I think it could have worked for India as well, because if you're watching the match after that altercation, couple of balls, Bairstow just like completely tried to hit the ball and narrowly missed the edge. But after that, everything changed, and even though Stokes got out. Although he was, Indians were not ready to take his catch, but somehow he got out, and then I think, if you remove Bairstow's innings, then it would have been game over by now for England.
That is actually true. Okay, I've checked the stats. Moving on to a different topic altogether. India's Test captains. Kohli was India's 32nd Test captain, and since Kohli has retired from, kicked out, gave up, whatever the word you want to talk about, there has already been 37 captains. So in the history of cricket, when it started officially in 1877 at MCG between England and Australia, first Test match, for the 150 years, there were only 32. And the last 2 months, there have been 37 captains in India. Like literally, I won't be surprised if next Rahul Dravid also comes out and retire and say, okay, I'm also going to be captaining one thing. I just heard a news that Rohit Dravid, what is his name? Rohit Sharma has tested negative. It says Rohit Sharma tests. I like the word tests. Before a test match, negative. Now, what do we do? There's not any more test matches. This guy is a captain who never plays any match, and then any random fucker becomes a captain. So now people are like, why are you complaining? Bumrah is doing very well. Well, the results are looking good. I'm not sure what Bumrah exactly is doing. But if you see the pitch, Kohli seems to be calling all the shots. He's telling Bumrah, okay, you do this, and you do this. And he's behaving like old Kohli, fighting with everybody, fighting with Johnny. Do you think Bumrah was the right decision? Could anybody else would have done it? I understand politics will not allow the greatest captain in history, Virat Kohli, who's right there. Do you think, even if you discount that, because obviously he cannot be captaining better than Virat Kohli, right? Because Virat Kohli is right there. But could anybody else would have become the captain? If Rishabh Pant is already captaining his IPL side, he's captaining one-day side, T20 side. If he must be really fucking shit that you just make somebody a rank outside who's never captained anything. Even a Gilli Danda team, he is not captain. Kho team, he is not captain. Ludo team, he is not captain. Bumrah has never captained anything, but he becomes a captain over and above Virat Kohli and Rishabh Pant. How do you explain that?
I think there was no option, because because even if they wanted Kohli to be captain, I think Kohli wouldn't have taken it himself, because it becomes an ego thing, right? That you have been unceremoniously dumped, and then you again take the captaincy. So he was never going to take the captaincy, even if that was an option, which we don't know.
But why Pant is not an option? Pant is already captaining everywhere, right? He must be really fucking shit.
Pant, I think, that's what we have been saying, that he is not a great is like, why do we say great? But he's not a captain. He makes very rookie mistakes, and I think this series was a very high profile series. I don't think anyone wanted to take a chance with his captaincy. And remember, before this 100, in the IPL or even in the T20 series, he was not really making any runs. So he was under pressure. Although this is test match, and in previous in the last Test series he played really well, but going by what happened in IPL, what happened in the T20 series, this although I mean we came back in against South Africa under his captaincy after being two nil down, but I think anyone can see, if we can see from this far, anyone can see that he's not a captaincy material right now. And I really don't want him to be burdened by all this captaincy and everything. So yeah, I think in this scenario there was no other option. If Rahane was there, then obviously Rahane would have captained, but he's gone. He's gone, long gone. So yeah, and Pujara, I think, yeah, I
Never
don't
say long
think.
gone because Indian hierarchy till this Virat Kohli, Pujara, they are failing constantly, right? They move Pujara to the top so they can, so no longer can be blamed for the middle order trash because he's like just remove me from middle order, make sure that I'm not in middle order, and then put me in the top order. Okay, we'll just confuse people that I'm no longer part of the middle order anymore. That's how you tabatla. This is called tabatla, old Indian style, right? If you do something wrong, they just don't dismiss you, they tabatla you to the other places. What do you think about Rishabh Pant's innings? Because of all the innings that he's played, this one has to be right up there because people are saying he literally just miscued just one delivery or some shit like which is completely incorrect. But
he just left. He just left one delivery. All
he
the
reverse
deliveries he
scooped
played.
Jimmy Anderson as well. Then he tried to like
Yeah.
swipe him like a completely length delivery which he could have cleaned up as well. But then overall, the way he played, I mean, and talk about Jadeja also a little bit. I mean, what was like? I mean, India was like 98 for 5, right? If I'm not incorrect, and they completely transformed the game.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was the baseball, which has been the term given to the England approach. I think that was the ultimate baseball, because and it was fire and ice, right? Jadeja was the one who was leaving all the deliveries, and he was the stable partner on the other end, and this guy was just going for it. And this is how he plays, and I think that's what we always talk about, right? You cannot curb someone's natural instinct, and he has been doing really well. I mean, in test matches, he has been not doing great in the one days and T20s white ball cricket, but if you see his test record, he's already made 5 centuries, ten half centuries. He has made test centuries in Australia, England, South Africa. What more do you want? It's
Pakistan.
Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the greatest ever wicketkeeper batsman. He has just 1 century out of Sena, in the Sena countries, and
सुन
this
लो
guy.
सारे वीरेंद्र सिंह धोनी के fans. This is fact. This is not in your mind. This is not some subjective nonsense. This is not some helicopters. He has just made 1 century outside of India. This is Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the greatest batsman ever in the history of cricket, and just 1 century.
Yeah,
And that also holds true for Rohit Sharma also, by the way. And you're like, great, great. He's 35 years old. He's made 1 century outside India. Jesus Christ. Stop calling him the best thing. He's a captain. He's a non-playing captain. He's like, one of those tennis players. They used to have this non-playing captains or something who never play, will
this.
just sit on the sidelines.
Yeah,
Ramakrishnan.
definitely. I think. I mean, I didn't say anything about Rohit Sharma, but this is laughable. After Kohli was dumped, we have had 6 new captains. This is not going to cut it. Like, how you're going to have stability in the team now? I think next during the other Indian squad is playing warm up matches in England, T20 warm up matches, and Dinesh Karthik is captaining the guy who was not even in the Indian team. He is the captain in the warm up
I
match.
am telling you, they've had 37 captains already. It's crazy. Like everybody is like a fucking like spinning around like merry-go-round. Just like it's like EPL. You keep firing people, keep hiring new people, keep firing, keep hiring, keep hiring, keep firing, keep hiring. It is just amazing. And India's
And
playing
this
like so many
is,
tournaments also. They're playing somewhere
yeah.
other tournament also. Like there's so many people playing. I have no idea. Right now they're playing. Like right now they're playing some T20 as we speak. Right.
Correct, correct, correct,
It's just
correct.
fucking
That's the
crazy,
warm
man.
up match.
So, and somewhat on Jadeja, at least spent 30 seconds. Jadeja was shunned by CSK. People thought he's dead and buried. His career is over. Suddenly comes back coolly, makes a century. Coolly, not Kohli.
Definitely, I think. No, I think he like Pant. He has had it. He has had troubles in IPL, or I mean, he has been injured and everything. But whenever he has played in the last 2 years, whenever he has played for India, he has always performed. So it's not really surprising, but yeah, making a century in such a in such a condition where there's overcast, the wickets are all gone, and so I think it helped that Pant was scoring on the other from the other end. But Jadeja played really well, and even after Pant got out, he with all the tail enders added, I think 80 runs or something. So yeah, that is definitely. I think we have a very good and again we have. I think we need to point this out. We were not we, but a lot of people were blaming Kohli that he was dropping Ashwin. But here we see in the fifth Test match as well, under new management, again Ashwin is dropped just
Because I'm
because
telling
he
you,
cannot.
Kohli is still the captain. I'm telling you, he's behind the scenes also captain. He's like, I'm going to be the captain. No, I don't give a shit about all you guys. I have grabbed you by the balls. He's grabbed them by the balls. I'm telling you, this is what happened. But no matter what you say, Virat Kohli, shit being formed, like Rishabh Pant being the great batsman, Jadeja being the great batsman, but the best batsman that we had was Jasprit Bumrah, who smacked the fuck out of Stuart Broad. Who was reminded what happened 14 years ago when he was a young boy, which happened with Yuvraj Singh, who spanked him for six sixes. He created another world record, the only guy who has both records in ODIs and now in Test cricket. I think there was T20, shorter form and the long form also.
Yeah.
He was spanked for 35 runs, and I was hoping the last ball also goes for a six. It would have been 40 runs. He would have been completely mental, like destroyed by Jasprit Bumrah. Jasprit Bumrah made like fucking scoring at 200 strike rate. I don't know what happened to Stuart Broad. When you talk about highlights, that entire over was highlights. Entire
Yeah,
over was
exactly.
highlights. It is just magical, man. As Jasprit
No,
Bumrah
I think
captain, he will always remember his first match, probably also his last match as captain. But you never know because Rohit
no,
will
you
never
never
captain.
know. You never know. That's what Rohit will never captain.
Yes.
He'll be injured. So
He'll be injured, he'll be retired. He'll be
I think we
non-playing
should,
captain.
yeah, non-playing captain. He'll be the cheerleader from the pavilion. So we
How
have
many
two
cheerleaders we
cheerleaders.
have in this team, man? Jesus Christ. Virat Kohli is already the greatest cheerleader.
So I think we should talk about England's idiotic planning as well, because they did the same shit in the in the in the fourth or no third test, is it third for a second test match, where Bumrah and Shami made a partnership of 98 runs or something. They kept bowling short to them, and these guys kept waving their bats and scoring runs. They did the same here, and again same thing happened. Last three wickets added like 98 runs or something. So it's just bizarre that when you are able to take seven wickets with normal bowling, why can't you take last three wickets with the same type of bowling? Why do you have to bounce? And that's we saw what happened to Jimmy. Sorry, Broad, because 35 runs out of 35 runs, I think a couple of them were no balls, and one was white, five whites on top of the head, and the rest two were like trying to bounce Jasprit Bumrah, and he just whacked his bat and top edge to six. So yeah, it's just stupidity. Like how why can't you learn after what happened in Lords?
No, that's the whole point that we never learn. It was first told by Indians, and Indians learned it from the English anyway. So English is like, why would we learn? We told everybody not to learn. So they're not going to learn anything. Okay, Johnny Bairstow is like, I don't learn anything. I was not making any runs. I was getting out. Now he's making 100. He's like, why should I learn anything different? I keep making 100. Johnny Bairstow scored third 100 in three matches. Guy has completely gone absolutely mental. Let's talk about something that people are talking about. That's a soft signal of a catch. Ravindra Jadeja early on got caught by Joe Roots of Matthew Potts. Weirdly enough, it was Matthew Potts. No, it was not Matthew Potts. It was Stuart Broad, the guy who got hit for 35 runs, only 35 runs, not in 2 overs, just in 1 over, not in 20 overs, just in 1 over, by not by some great player, but Jasprit Bumrah, the new captain of India. This is what happened. And if you missed out, please watch the highlights. Everything is highlights. Now, if you missed out that Jadeja was caught and Root took the catch in the slips, he didn't claim it. He said, like, I'm not sure. So naturally, if you're not sure, Alimdar will say, soft signal not out. He will not gonna go like, no, I don't, I want to give it out. So when the soft signal are not out, so when it was very close to his fingers, and when you see the replays, and it never shows you exactly. So it just a soft signal. So he's stuck with the soft signal. Fast forward, the last wicket, the most excited person after Virat Kohli is Mohammad Siraj. Mohammad Siraj bowled to Matthew Potts. Matthew Potts edge, and guess who was there? Shreyas Iyer took the catch, which looked like a bomb, but because Shreyas Iyer claimed it, so Alindar said, if you claimed it, I'm gonna say it's out. So his soft signal was out, and the third umpire said, well, I have no reason to change the decision, so it stays out. Practically, Both catches were identical, not in absolute identical twins, but if you see, the idea is still the same. Whatever the soft signal would be given out. All Joe Root had to do was claim the catch. So I think my point is, what precedent is setting right now is that people will say, you know what, I'm just going to fucking claim it, because you have DRS, you can just overturn it if you want. I'm just going to say I claim it, because what's the point of not claiming it? Then the soft signal will be not out, and the, the replays anyway show the ball touching your like hand. It never shows that it is hitting the ground or not hitting the ground. It'll be inconclusive, and if the soft signal is out, it will be given out. And I think next time Joe Root will claim the catch, and Jadeja will be out on 23, and India will not have the 200-run lead, and England would have already won the match. And by the way, next 2 days there is no rain. But let's talk about the soft signal thing. You agree, or do you have something to add on this thing? I mean, you have to agree. Otherwise, if you don't agree, I'll come there and beat you up.
No, I think I don't think there is any point blaming the players. It should be on the umpires, because now I think there is option to not give the soft signal. You
I don't
can
think there's
even
an option. They're definitely
there
giving
is
something.
no, there is an
Why don't
option
they
they have
not give
added.
something then?
There is an option that you can just directly refer it to the third umpire, and you
I
don't
hope
have
it's not
if you're not
IPL,
sure.
because IPL has its own rules now.
No,
And
no,
IPL now has a 9.5 month window, which is half month more than giving birth to a baby. Or is it 2.5 months? I don't know.
two
It will
and a
be
half
eventually
to
9.5 months. 2.5 months will be for the rest of the cricket world, for all the matches. People will be like, "अबे
yeah.
कैसे खेले यार? Match ही खत्म नहीं हो रहे, दिमाग
Okay,
खराब हो गया."
EPL, it will become like EPL, I think. It just
It'll
keep
go
playing.
crazy. And then every 2 years there'll be a World Cup of cricket, like ODI. Every half year there'll be a World Cup of T20, and Test cricket will keep running. People will go completely mental. Joe Root will make 27,000 runs by 2023, because so many Test matches will be. Joe Root will keep playing. Like, he'll go completely mental. So, okay, no comments on this is fine. But tell me now, no more rain is expected. India, I will tell you right now what is the lead. Virat Kohli is still playing, but don't be surprised, before this podcast is finished, Virat Kohli is finished. He's already made 13 runs, which is already 13 more than he normally makes. It's been disgraceful 2.5, almost 3 years for Virat Kohli. His next century will come before, I don't know, sometime it will come. But do you think now definitely a result is going to come out? As in Birmingham, there's no rain, no more pissing, as the English say. No, it won't piss anymore for the next 2 days. Result is definitely on. Do you think England can still do what they did to New Zealand in all the three Test matches? Because I'm not going to discount them out, because Johnny Bairstow is in crazy form. Joe Root is like amazing, and Ben Stokes will make some runs, right? Definitely.
Yeah, I think it will depend upon how much India end up scoring. So
Oh, you're
my
talking like Sunil Gavaskar. Oh my God. It's like, no, it doesn't depend. It depends on what Bumrah
so
scores again.
what's the lead right now? How much is the lead?
Okay, I'm supposed to do everything right now, but I'll do it anyway. Lead is almost 200 runs, 4 runs less than 200, but by the time we speak, it will be more than 200. So carry on.
Okay, so yeah, I don't think England will win this. This is going to be more than 300 run lead, and the baseball actually just worked for Bairstow. It didn't
Oh,
work
by
for
the way, have you
anyone else.
forgotten all the three matches the one they chased down 350, boom, boom, boom. And suddenly these guys are like, no, no,
But
we are very
that's
patriotism like a jingoism. India will win.
no, but that's a different scenario, right?
Oh, they were against
It's
the world champions who destroyed India in the World Cup final, because Ashwin was playing. Guess who? Ashwin was playing. And guess who? Jasprit Bumrah was playing, took 0 wickets. Oh my God, have I forgotten that?
but he's the captain now, and we have Lord Shardul, so it's he'll take all the clutch
Are we
wickets.
still talking about him? Did he even do anything? Like, has he made any runs? Has he taken any
He took
wickets?
he took Stokes' wicket.
He took Stokes' wicket. So he
Yeah,
must have taken 1 wicket. By the way, apparently Siraj took 4 wickets. It was crazy.
yeah, he took 4 wickets. Most of them were tailenders, but he took Root's wicket, so that was important. Uh,
Oh, he
so
got Root.
yeah, he got
He
Root.
uprooted Root. Nice. Did he
So
claim any racial slurs against him?
no, he was not even doing this. So I think whoever he was pointing to, they have already shut up now, or maybe he
Virat
shut
Kohli
up.
was doing this thing. Virat Kohli was doing this to Johnny Bairstow. When Johnny Bairstow like boom, 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 boom. That worked out. So he's still sticking with. I mean, somebody has to stick with England. So I'm going to stick with England. I mean, right now, naturally, because it's
Destrohi,
advantaging India.
Destrohi.
But if I remember the last match, New Zealand scored like 560 odd, and they still lost by 8 wickets. It's crazy stuff, man. On the other side of the road, Australia destroyed Sri Lanka as expectedly, but TGC said it was a disgrace because they did not win by an innings, and they had to come back and chase 5 runs. So in Australia, people are mourning and saying we did not beat Sri Lanka by innings. It's a disgrace. So it's been a disgrace. They already lost the one-day series because nobody gives a shit. Mitchell Stark was resting for the test matches. I have respect for Mitchell Stark, even as much they disrespect him in the test matches. He's always preparing for the test matches and always letting go the lucrative 2 million contracts in IPL, which they will pay him if he ever shows up. This is one thing
He's
that
even
like, please show up, please.
he's even resting from BBL. Forget IPL. He's even resting from BBL to be ready, to be injury
I think
free.
he's just competing against what is this guy Virat Kohli to be the most rested player ever, only to be told that you're not resting enough.
Yeah, because once or even if he doesn't perform for one or two matches, people will be like, yeah, he's finished. Then he's not good. Right?
All right, I think I've said enough. There's nothing more to say. India is going to win the match. I think England is going to win the match. Somebody is going to win the match. It's definitely not going to be New Zealand or Australia because they're not playing. But you never know what can happen because everybody can just get COVID and then entire team gets shifted. Some other team comes in directly. New Zealand is already probably still there, stuck in the airport. They're like, can you come and play as Indians? And half of your players are already Indians. And no, that's actually Ireland or some other team because most of the other teams have like a lot of Indian players, and you never know what happens.
UAE.
But give me a percentage chance of England winning it and India winning it. Then we'll leave it at that.
75%
This
of
guy's
India winning and 25% to
see
England.
he's a real देशद्रोही. पहचान लीजिए इस शख्स को. He wants England to win 25%. I did not say England will win what percentage. I'm actually saying 24.99%. So I am less देशद्रोही than this guy. There you go. But both of us together is around 50%. So England will win. That's how the logic works, right? That's how the logic works. All right. We'll be back next time, and India will be back with a new captain, most likely 2 or 3 by the time we are back. But stay hooked, and you can like and subscribe. This is
I
me,
think next
Johnny's
time.
bare toe, and it is what?
No, I think next
He's
time what
frozen
will
again.
happen? People will just play their first match as captain, like debut as captain. This is the next step.
Ravi Shastri is also coming back as India's captain. He'll be like, I'll be bowling gentle off spinners I used to bowl. He has finally taken more than 100 wickets in one day T20. It's not T20, like test matches, made a lot of runs. He was a great all rounder. People have forgotten. People just think he's some Kohli's chamcha. No, he's not Kohli's chamcha. That's also his part time job for 7 years only. Got paid a lot of money, a lot of whiskey after 8 p.m. The whiskey was not 8 p.m. He is rich guy. He drinks like expensive whiskey because apparently there's a whiskey called 8 p.m. I was like, that starts pretty early. Or is like
Yeah,
something
there.
8 p.m. something like that. You're right. All right. For us also it's time for more whiskey. I don't have any whiskey, but I have some wine. This wine especially came from Italy from my friend. I'm pretty sure it's pretty cheap, but at least she brought it from all the way there. So thankful for that. And hopefully a lot of my friends keep bringing me a lot of alcohol, even if it's wine and cheap, because I'm cheap, so I don't mind it. All right, this is me, Johnny's Bearto. This is Bikram. Are you also somebody's Bearto? No, he's just a nice guy. All right, we'll see you next time. You can like and subscribe if you're still here, and if you're not dead, we're also not dead.